A New York City Republican councilwoman made a stunning admission about her real priorities and the real priorities of the Republican Party. In talking about Representative George Santos, who has been arrested and charged in federal court, 13 counts of wire fraud, money laundering, theft of public funds, and making materially false statements to the House of Representatives on official campaign forms. Well, apparently none of that matters to this Republican councilwoman, because it's like, well, but he's a Republican, and we must allow him to. We can't lose this vote. Take a look.
I did know Anthony, and I will say this, sadly, really, really sadly, because it's breaking my heart that someone is ill as this, to get away with this. It's an illness. So I wish him well. I wish us all well, because if there's a special election, I'm going to tell you this right now, the chances of a Republican taking this seat is 0. It's nuclear. It is 0. He fried the seat. I say let him keep his seat for the next 2 years and let the people decide, because if this goes to a special election, we will have Robert Zimmerman, who is as far left as you want to take it. And we will lose a valuable seat, even though he will be stripped of all his committees as he should be.
Ooh, okay, wow. So now, that was New York City Councilwoman Vicky Palladino, again, making the argument why George Santos, who is a criminal, should retain his seat. Oh, yeah, but we're going to lose. I mean, if we're going to lose, it'll be nuclear. Well, gee, whose fault is that? Oh, yeah, that would be George Santos for being a criminal. Now, look, let me go here to the unsealed indictment, okay? Now, at the height of the pandemic in 2020, George Santos allegedly applied for and received unemployment benefits while employed and running for Congress. So that's theft to the taxpayer. The defendant's alleged behavior continued during his second run for Congress, when he pocketed campaign contributions and used that money to pay down personal debts and buy designer clothing. You know, because, man, you gotta look good. He can't just be wearing those not designer suits. And what about the, what about the outfits for Qatar Ravash? You got to keep those current. Got to keep that drag show going. Which, by the way, drag show is probably about the only base thing he's ever done. But anyway, now the indictment is a result of a lengthy collaboration between law enforcement agencies at the U.S. Attorney's Office, the Department of Justice, and the Federal Bureau of Investigation. But, also the other thing that you might have noticed in that video is I feel sorry for him. I feel bad for him. Mental illness. He's ill. No, he's not ill. He's a criminal. I mean, okay, maybe you could make an observation like, yeah, but he's a pathological liar. Isn't that considered to be a mental illness? I think he's just a pathological liar because he gets away with it. He can't help himself. He really does, lie and cheat and steal. It's almost like an impulse for him, from what I understand. Again, this is a guy who ripped off his own donors and ripped off pretty much everybody he could. And yet she makes the argument, oh no, but we have to have him in office. Oh, we have to keep him in a seat. You don't understand. If we do, we'll lose. We'll lose. But you're probably going to lose anyway. If you leave it up to the voters, after having him expelled from his seat, you're going to lose. How did Vicky Palladino ever get elected? She's a right-wing nut and ignoramus. I don't know. That's a good question. I know that she's been very anti-LGBTQ. I think she had lost her own committee assignment, so Maybe she's, one of those people that is like, oh, committee assignments. Well, I already lost mine, so, and that was due to her not wanting to take COVID measures seriously. And so, yeah, maybe, I don't know, who knows? She might find a kindred spirit in a criminal like George Santos. But at the very least, even if that's not the case, what she cares about is the power. That's it. It's just all about, for them, politics, power, and at least, though, in this case, they're openly admitting who they are. Supporting criminals in exchange for power.